Hello everyone, welcome once again to the creation page. Before I begin talking about how the baby earth is growing up, you'll remember that our baby earth from the last post is a nice little yellow bead sitting right next to her mother, who is the giant big yellow beach ball. Okay, we need to understand a little bit more about how rings curl up and become spheres in our universe. And that will define action-reaction. You've often heard it said that every action has its equal and opposite reaction. That is so, but kind of deceptive. Here's what it should say. Every action has within it its own reaction, even before the action is taken. If you intend to do something, your thought is already programmed or patterned into your inert gas soul. It's already there. Whether you take action on it or not, it does affect your life. It does affect your purpose in life. The same thing happens with our little tiny earth. Action equals reaction, but the reaction is in the action. In other words, every motion that is made in the universe, there is an opposite that curls right around with it, so that as the red is curling one way, the blue is curling the other. Now, you've often heard it said this is a forward driving universe where everything is going in the same direction. That is true. So how do we have clockwise and counterclockwise sunspots? Okay, I'm going to answer that with this little demonstration. You see my finger? I'm going to take my finger and go in a clockwise direction with it, just like this. You see what's going on here? I didn't go in a clockwise direction. I went in a counterclockwise direction, right? Well, to me, it was clockwise. You do the same if you would. Point your finger at the screen and put it towards a clockwise direction, or do it in a mirror, and you'll see that the reflection to it is exactly the opposite. This is a relative comparative type universe where this goes against that. Whatever happens in the red phase is unhappening in the blue phase, you might say. It is getting rid of itself. In your youth, you did more living than you did dying. After maturity, you do more dying than you do living. Now, here's our today's little talk. Turn it right side up here. we have our sun over here, and our sunspots, little red spots on there. And we have an earth that has just been given birth. When she does, she has a north pole facing her mother. Her north pole is actually pointing right at her mother. Why is that? Because your north pole was facing your mother as well. That is the most direct way to feed the baby. And the baby must be cared for by its mother, just as you and I had to be cared for by our mother, and so forth. Now, as time goes on, that baby earth, this wonderful little guy here, will start to turn her north pole straight up, just like a fast spinning top will start really spinning up nice and vertical. Once our little earth reaches equal lateral plane, level with its mother, its north pole will be straight up and down, and it will be a perfect sphere. Now, if you talk to any expert out there on astronomy, they will tell you that the Earth is not a sphere. It's oblated. It's kind of flat a little bit on the top and a flat on the bottom. And it's also tilted off of its north pole by 23 degrees, and that is all correct. Yes, that's because as this little Earth begins to fade out, as it has reached maturity, that is the maximum right there. That's equal to a human at about 35 years old to 40 years old. After that, this continually turning North Pole, she begins to come down out of the equilateral plane, the heat of the mother, and begin to move on out in cold space. What happens after that is every planet ahead of us and behind us will turn the North Pole completely upside down. And at that point, those inner rings will become less solid. In other words, the Earth is made out of rings that become solid spheres. And then, as it turns upside down in old age, those spheres will become rings once again. Just as your body will someday be nothing more than simple cells, is all it'll be. You started out as simple cells, and your body will end as simple cells. I might like to add right here, you are not your body. You are a wonderful, ecstatic being on the inside. The reason why you don't know that is that you have not meditated and found. You've not met yourself yet. But you're going to if you work with me on this website. By the way, thank you so much for your wonderful, wonderful comments through YouTube and Facebook and that. I plan a blog site to come before long, and that blog site, I will announce the link to it, and I will have lots of wonderful PDF books to offer as time goes on, and lots of really great stuff if you're interested in this. I also have planned a Las Vegas card playing little game. Now, it has nothing to do with gambling. You'll be a winner of a card game here in the Russell Science and Russell Philosophy. It's a wonderful, happy way to play with science is through a game, and I've created a game for us. Now, as I said, just remember right now that our wonderful little Earth has reached maturity, just as you do at age 35 or 40, up here in the equilateral plane, right here, and she is getting older. A banana reaches its ripe stage, and what happens after that? It goes overripe. Every planet must become overripe before it begins to create organic matter. And that's when what we call life actually begins on a planet, is when the planet gets old, much older. Thank you so much, and have a most ecstatic and wonderful day. Thank you.